Oh, sorry. Honorable President.
Thank you, Chair. In light of the fact that Adv Mkhwebane says that I know this candidate and somehow I have a preference for her, I have no personal recollection of ever having met this candidate. Would you just please inquire the candidate if she knows me, because I have no recollection of it. So if I knew her, I would declare, but I'm unable to. But if she knows me, she can say so.
So you've got nothing to declare?
No.
That's right. Let's proceed. Your values, you are the right.
Good afternoon, Chairperson, honorable members. The degree of BB, and have also, through the years, I have obtained several short courses that include strategy management, corporate governance, executive development in the office of the attorney, detailed litigation. I was I8. So from the state attorney's office, I joined SALGA as a labor relations officer. My main responsibilities at SALGA entailed representing municipalities at the CCMA mainly, as well as supporting the employer component at the South African Local Government Bargaining Council. From there, I joined the Office of the Public Protector as a senior investigator, and I progressed through the ranks in the Office of the Public Protector. I possess necessary skills. I have about 23 years in the Office of the Public Protector, 16 of which was at management level. Managing investigation teams. I have experience in the different key mandate investigation of the public protectors. That is from investigation of maladministration, improper conduct, abuse of power, breach of allegations of the code of ethics by members of the executives, allegations of undue delay. Additional to that, I spent a period of 4 years in the CS and that exposed me to the corporate side of the sector. My roles in the CEO's office entail monitoring and my performance of the organization, as well as reporting on that, facilitating internal and external audit, as well as assisting with the drafting of the annual report, and also monitoring the various units with regard to policy development. The positive Deputy Public Protector position is to provide support to the Public Protector in carrying out the constitutional right to investigate, to report, to take appropriate remedial action. The experience that I have acquired within the organization has provided me with sufficient skills to be in a position to support the public protector in carrying out the mandate. Additionally, the responsibilities of the public protector entails oversight over the entire organization, as well as providing strategic direction and policy in the organization. So the experience for that, the public protector to qualify abilities and direct also and stakeholder management. We collaborate with the state institutions in investigation, expedite resolution of complaints. The case in point is the initiative that I started with the compensation fund. Historically, we had a high number of complaints that we received against the compensation fund. I embarked on a process where we consolidated on the complaints. We met on monthly basis with the Chief Operations Officer of the Compensation Fund. Currently on the system, we only have 20. Additional to that is, I feel that in terms of leadership, my leadership style, it's mainly visionary as well as coaching. I have sufficient experience. I am currently managing a team of about 2 chief investigators as well as about 20 investigators. So in providing support to the public protector, I do have the sufficient experience to carry the role of the deputy public protector. Importantly, around leadership, the 2024 definition of leadership entails principles such as resilience, empathy. I believe that I do possess the capabilities to carry the responsibilities at the leadership, and I can provide oversight over the position. Part of the responsibilities require, in the absence of the protector, the deputy can stand in on behalf of the public protector in the event that the skills and qualities to perform the service delivery, especially to...
Thank you. Members, any questions? Honorable Maseko Chere, Honorable Muramulobe, Honorable Horn, Honorable Nevot Tuchen, Honorable Mola, in that order.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good afternoon, Ms. Mkhwebane.
Good afternoon, Honorable
And
Member.
how are you, sis?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fine. Yes, my name is Nomathemba Maseko Chere, member of the committee. I just want clarity first before I continue with my questions. On your CV, on page 3, you indicated that the name of your employer up to now, it's Public Protector South Africa. And you indicate, for example, for the period, is it from 2012? So when I count from 2012 to now, it's 12 years. You'll correct me. I need clarity.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Yes. And when you go to same page, paragraph A, also to the one that you spoke to on page 5, which is B, you indicated that you have accumulated a total of 23 years of investigation experience in the different roles in the public protector's office. So my clarity question would be, if I add, do I have to add those years, or do you subtract from the 23, you subtract 12, or, because here I'm a bit confused. Just tell me, because you also indicated that there's this 16 years managing investigations, all that. So to me, there's something that I don't understand. Can you please clarify to me exactly? Because if I add this 12 and 23, it gives me 50-something. And then all that. So,
okay. Honorable Member, I don't have a copy of the CV. I can check and clarify. But if I may clarify, I first joined the Office of the Public Protector on the 1st of December 2000 as a senior investigator. In 2004, I was appointed as a chief investigator in the Office of the Public Protector. 2006, still within the Office of the Public Protector, I moved to the Office of the CEO in the Public Protector. And in 2012, the 12 years that you're talking about, I was appointed executive manager. Initially, the position was administrative justice and civil service delivery. But later on in 2019, the position was merged and it was called Executive Manager Investigations. So from the 1st of December 2000, I have been with the Office of the Public Protector.
in short, you don't have 32 years experience.
No, Honorable Member.
Okay, thank you. No. Okay, my second question will be, you also indicate in your CV that you've worked with the DPP, the former DPP, for how long?
I worked with the former DPP from, what happened was that the former DPP was delegated the responsibility to deal with what we call administrative justice and service delivery members. So as the executive manager responsible for administrative justice and service delivery matters, I worked closely with him because part of his responsibilities entailed oversight over those matters, as well as conducting inspection both at head office and provinces. So I worked closely with him. It was for a period of 3 years whilst I was still, but I had not moved from my core position. It was something that I was doing over and above my responsibility as executive manager.
So what do you take from that experience in relation to this position as if you happen to be taken?
What I take from that is the importance of executive oversight over investigations, especially because the executive is based at her office, especially interaction at provincial level. Whilst at provincial level, it entailed inspection to monitor the progress. It also served as an opportunity for the executive to provide guidance in some of the investigations, especially older matters where the investigator found themselves stuck with some of those investigations. So what I take from there is that it's very important. It's an important and a critical function in the Office of the Public Protector, where you've got different provincial as well as regional offices. With regard to the employees, it's also important because people who are based in the provinces and regional offices, they often feel that they are abandoned. So that ongoing interaction by the executive, it gives them that inclusivity, and they feel that they are part of the organization, not that they are sitting somewhere in the provinces. So taking from there, if I am to be appointed, it is one of the things that I would continue. Maybe I would support the public protector in terms of carrying out that responsibilities. The responsibilities of the public protector, the key mandate areas are very vast. So if I were to be appointed, it would be something that I would initiate and make sure that it happens. With Advocate Malunga, we used to do it on quarterly basis, where we would visit the different provincial offices. Okay. And we spend about 3 days in each and every provincial office.
Okay, can I just get, my last question would be, what are the current challenges within the Public Protector's Office that you think when you get into the office you'll start with them, if you are considered as Deputy Public Protector?
Currently, the key thing that I would start working on is picking up the morale of the staff members. It is common knowledge that there has been incidents that were traumatic to staff members. There are initiatives and measures that have been put in place, but I think it is important as the leadership of the organization to make sure that we exercise the oversight and we monitor. Even though there are programs that have been put in place, it would be important to make sure that there is that oversight from the level of the executive to make sure that we don't leave some of the staff members. There might be some of them that are taking long to try and adjust and to try and move on. So I would exercise that oversight. The other function that is important, which is a challenge, we receive a high number of complaints, but at the moment, most of the cases are resolved based on investigation. The first step that I would take is to make sure that there are refresher training that are conducted for staff members, and those who have never been trained on mediation, to give them the opportunity and to entrench that culture of resolving complaints through alternative dispute resolution. Alternative dispute resolution is very important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So is the next one. Honorable Ramulube.
Thanks, Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Adv Mkhwebane. I'm a member of the Portfolio Committee. Taking from the last question that you were asked by Honorable Chair on when you ask if you are appointed to ascend to the position of the DPP, what is it that you would do, and basing it from your response on training and stuff. Since you were one of those who were heading at the, whether it's at executive level or managerial level, investigation and so forth, you didn't think at that particular time you were heading that aspect, you should be able to take investigators to refresher trainings or those relevant training you were speaking about?
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Member. It is part of the program that is in the organization, but over the past financial years, we've had resource constraints. I am talking, we have received additional funding from CARA. Part of the programs where we couldn't proceed with programs because of the financial constraints. Since we have obtained CARA funding, it would provide us with that opportunity to provide the training. Internally, we still continued to provide the training internally, but however, it's important that we get the training that is focused and assesses the skill of each and every employee and make sure that it addresses the gaps that each and every one of them has.
In you working with the team of investigators or leading them at that position, do you have any key successes stories of investigations that your team has done? And if you kindly possibly take us one or two of those successes?
Thank you, Honorable Member. The first matter that I can think of, which is an example of what we call the conduct failure matters, the team investigated the complaint that related to the complaint against the Minister of Defense relating to a flight to Zimbabwe. The allegation was that in the flight there were some members of the ANC who accompanied the minister in the flight. We issued a report and took appropriate remedial action in the report. We have received confirmation from the respondents that remedial action is being implemented on that matter. It was not taken on review. Another example of what we call the bread and butter issues, it's a complaint of the complainant who approached the public protector. Her partner was working for the Department of Correctional Services. He died on duty and was shot. And as part of the policy of the Department of Correctional Service, there is an amount that has to be paid to the dependents of the deceased. But however, in this instance, the complainant lodged the claim, but the department did not pay the dependent, paid the mother of the deceased. We embarked on a process, the hybrid process of investigation, as well as mediating on the particular dispute. The report was issued last year and it has already been implemented. The remedial action that the public protector took in that matter was that that money should be paid to the estate, the late estate account that was paid. So the matter has been implemented.
Thank you. Do you believe that the public protector does give enough support to whistleblowers, especially explaining the two matters that you spoke of, who exposes malpractice and corruption in the public service, and this is all institution at large when you receive those complaints?
Currently, the legislative framework is not sufficient for the public protector to protect whistleblowers. As a result, part of the proposed amendments to the Public Protector Act is that there should be more emphasis around protection of whistleblowers. But however, internally as a public protector, there are steps that we take to protect them, such as we keep them anonymous, we don't record their names, and we do everything possible. But the current legal framework is creating a hindrance to us providing effective protection to whistleblowers.
Are you trained to deal with conflict management or in any instance?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had any conflict matter that you personally dealt with in your workspace?
Okay. Generally, due to the nature of the issues that we deal with in the public protector, we tend to have that conflictual relationship with the complainants, in the sense that some of them, they approach the public protector where they had been following up on their cases. Some of them, they've already lost their properties and their assets, and some of them tend to blame us as the investigators, and some of them would even insinuate that we have taken bribes. So there has been several cases, let me not say several, there has been incidents where some of them would accuse me of having received bribes.
Okay.
But what is important...
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Honorable Hon.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Honourable Member.
So one of the things this portfolio committee invariably, and individual members as well, is confronted with is individuals in society who say, I laid a complaint with the Public Protector's Office somewhere, but one of two things happened. Either I never heard from them again, or they just informed me that my file has been closed. So what should be done differently in order to address that perception out there that ultimately the Public Protector is not willing or able to deal with every single one of the complaints?
Thank you, Honourable Member. The most important thing is oversight that needs to be exercised by the Public Protector and the Deputy Public Protector. Currently, we have a case management system. It's got the element where from where you are sitting as the head of the organization or even the manager, you are able to zoom in into a particular case. The service standards in the Public Protector says updates, feedback must be provided to the complainant every 6 weeks. So we are able to zoom in and check into the system. But what we did as part of the good governance last year as an organization at Investigations at Head Office, we set aside a day in a month where we're saying we're leaving everything, we're following up on the cases and making sure that we update all the complainants. Due to the number of the cases that we have at Head Office, it might not always be possible to provide update in that particular day. But what we do is that we take turns and we move it to the following month. But as required by the service standard is very important, and the case management assists in monitoring and following up on that. And case closures, what happens is that the closure of cases needs to be done at the level of the manager, so that the manager takes accountability to avoid the situation where the file is closed without the complainant being informed.
Okay, so one of the potential amendments to the Public Protector Act that has been mooted over time by some is to criminalize criminalize a failure to implement remedial action. What is your personal view on that proposal?
My personal view, it's twofold. It's a yes and a no. What we have picked up as a Public Protector is what, for lack of a better word, what we call the repeat offenders, where there has been several remedial action that has been made against the same entity, and they continue to ignore the Public Protector and not implement remedial action. And within that category, currently what is happening is that before a report is signed off by the Public Protector, we engage the organization and we get their inputs on those. So with regards to that category, those who are what I call repeat offenders and those that we have engaged and they have confirmed with us that remedial action is implementable, my answer is yes, it must be criminalized. But we have old matters in the organization. Some of those reports date back to during Advocate Madonsela's time, where remedial action is still not implemented. With regard to those old cases, my suggestion would be a no. Let's rather adopt the approach of engaging with the executive authority in the different institutions and discussing with them and checking what are the challenges, because some of the challenges might be that the remedial action is not implementable.
The Act also says the deputy only has the powers, or the authority, the functions delegated to it by the public protector. After your 23 years of experience, what's the ideal delegation that should go to the deputy?
The ideal delegation, in my viewpoint, there are two categories of matters, what we call the conduct failure and what we call service failure and the administrative justice. My ideal would be where the delegation for service failure and administrative lapses is delegated to the Deputy Public Protector, and the Public Protector can then focus on conduct failure and abuse of power matters.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Advocate Breitenbach.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Madam.
Good afternoon, Honourable Member.
In your view, is the institution of the Public Protector a passive adjudicator between citizens and the state? Or does the institution have a more investigatory role requiring proaction in certain circumstances? And please give reasons for your answer.
The Public Protector is not a passive adjudicator. The powers of the Public Protector, the investigative powers of the Public Protector were tested in the Malian Guardian judgment, where the court held that the role of the Public Protector in investigating cases is not of a passive adjudicator. The Public Protector needs to investigate and follow up and keep on digging until the Public Protector is convinced that the truth has been told. So it's not a passive adjudicator, but it requires intense investigation to uncover the truth.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Are there any further hands? Oh, just two. Is Honorable Velma and Honorable Janje. Honorable Mkhwebane.
Honourable, thank you, Honourable Chair. Good afternoon, Ma'am Mongaladi. So I'm using South African Sign Language, and this is my sign English interpreter, Francois Deisel. I would like to follow up what you recently said, repeated offenders. If with your experience, and if you say that these repeated offenders, what from your experience do you think that the legislation should be done with repeated offenders to prevent this, that they're doing the same matter over and over and again? So what's your view on that?
Thank you, Honourable Member. My view is that they should be held in contempt of the Public Protector, because the remedial action of the Public Protector is aimed at strengthening governance, is aimed at helping the state institution in improving its own internal governance and internal processes. So they should be held in contempt of the Public Protector, and they should be held to account. Thank you.
Thank you. My questions as a follow-up. From your experience of many years being in the office, so what's your view of the most pressing human rights issues in South Africa? That if you are full-time appointed as a DPP, so what will you do about it?
Thank you, Honourable Member. For me, the most pressing thing is the gender-based violence and femicide. It has been declared as a pandemic. There have been legislative measures that have been put in place to protect the victims. However, the cases are not decreasing. Instead, we continue to see brutal cases of GBV. So for me, that is the most important. And it happens to be an area that falls within the mandate of the public protector, because a public protector is supposed to investigate those institutions that have been given the mandate to protect the victims, as well as to respond to cases of gender-based violence.
Linked to GBV, and then other issues as well that has come before the Office of the Public Protector. Where do you see, if you are appointed as the Deputy Public Protector, how can you see how you can make an impact on South Africans where there are more, where the ordinary people on the ground really know about the work of the Public Protector?
Ordinary people, it is important that as a public protector we reach out, especially in the rural areas where they do not have the resources. Yes, we do have measures in place such as the referral app. We are currently introducing what a Please Call Me service, whereby some of those who have access to mobile phones can call us. But however, that is not sufficient. We have an advocacy and outreach program, so we need to go out to the far-flung areas and reach out to members of the communities in those areas. Also, we need to partner with Amakosi to make sure that we reach out to those vulnerable members of our society.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Livertochen. Honorable Chancha.
Kanjani?
Hey.
Kanjani? I understand.
Okay, Honorable.
Thanks,
Honorable
thanks,
Mkhwebane,
Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Good afternoon, Miss Revelation.
Good afternoon, honorable member. It's a name that is on my ID, but
Yeah, I just saw it on the CV. You have been with the PPSA for quite a number of years, which is 23 years, with 16 being in a managerial position. What has been major lessons, experiences that you can say they are major, they are actually major, the lessons learned during this course about the institution itself?
I think one of the major lessons that has been learned throughout my stay in the organization, I served through the current public protector would be the fifth one that I served with. I think one of the important lessons is that process of transition. Every 7 years there is a new public protector that is coming in. But however, the process of preparing the employees for that change, it has not been done smoothly as it should have been done, because every public protector that comes, they come with their own vision, they come with their own strategic priorities. But however, in terms of making sure that we prepare the employees who are the key stakeholders in the organization, we prepare them for that change in the organization, we have not been doing very well as the organization. The last experience, I think it's a case in point that we have really learned that much as we focus on chasing the numbers, we tend to forget the softer issues, particularly when it comes to employee. So for me, it's one of the issues that I think it's key. It's one of the lessons that I've taken from there. And I think the other thing that I'm noting that is important is that there is resilience within the organization, because notwithstanding those difficulties, we still manage to achieve the targets that were set. And we still have people that continue to serve. And I think the Public Protector is one organization where I think people tend to stay longer. Personally, I'm one of those that stayed longer in the organization, because on a personal level, it serves my purpose it is one organization where you are able to assist the most vulnerable at no cost. So some of the people stay longer in the organization mainly because it achieves that purpose where you are able to assist the most vulnerable without them having to pay for services.
Okay. You say in your CV that you have been attending programs that are meant to make the Office of the Public Protector accessible. What are those programs?
Can you repeat the question, Honorable
The
Member?
programs you attended, I think it's page 5. Programs you attended that are meant to make the Office of the Public Protector accessible.
Okay. Accessibility in terms of the programs that from where I am as the core, we have a formal outreach and advocacy program. However, as core function of the organization, we have to provide support to the program because they receive the complaints, we have to deal with those complaints, and we also have to make input on their part. But however, from the investigation, to make sure that we get prompt responses from organs of state, we have to engage with them. We have to collaborate with some of the institutions in resolving some of the issues. And we need to, as at my level as executive manager, I facilitate those meetings. I arrange the meetings with the different institutions, particularly in areas where we pick up that there is no prompt response.
Say you are appointed as the Deputy Public Protector and you make findings and remedial actions against a government department, and there is a complete resistance and refusal to implement the remedial actions from the public protector. How would you handle that situation? What would you do?
The most important thing is to escalate to the executive authority of the particular institution. If it's a government department, it would be the responsible minister. Engage with them and try to find out what are the challenges. Recently, we have a case in point. It is an investigation that was concluded in 2019. It involved various areas. It was a housing complaint in the former Bupitatswana area. The area is called Mawiga, Mabopane, Garangua, and Winterfeld community. There was a remedial action that was taken by the public protector, but however, it took very long. It was not implemented until the complainants approached the portfolio committee. And what we did was to have an engagement with the respective ministers, as well as the institution. I convened a meeting of all. Firstly, there was a meeting that was held by the public protector with the respective ministers. Following that, there was another follow-up meeting at my level with the different accounting officers. And as I'm talking, there is implementation of the remedial action. The only challenge that we have is that one of the parties had decided to take remedial action of the public protector on review. But we got commitment that even though they are challenging some of the principles in the report, they are implementing some of the remedial action. So for me, it's important that there needs to be that engagement and understand what are the challenges and see if it's possible to unlock those challenges.
Okay. What is your understanding of a fit and a proper person? And are you a fit and a proper person?
Fit and proper talks to your conduct as a person, whether you are an honest person, whether you have integrity. So with regard to that, I believe that I'm a fit and a proper person. I'm honest, I have integrity, so I believe that I'm a fit and proper person.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Mkhwebane. Oh, okay. Honorable Janji.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. So, Ms. Mokhaladi, you have seen how many? About 4 public protectors?
5.
5.
The current one is number 5.
Okay, so now you want to be a public protector yourself. You're tired of this thing of welcoming them and do that. Let's get there. You for about public protector.
Deputy.
That's a
But
way
now
to.
I've applied for the position of deputy,
Okay.
not public
So
protector.
you like, I know this space now, I must apply now to be a public protector. You came here for that?
I applied for the position of deputy public protector.
I'm aware.
Yes,
So that's what you want now?
yes.
You no longer like this investigation job that you're doing as EM investigations?
I like it, Honorable Member, but I feel that the experience that I've gained in the organization can be of value at the level of the Deputy Public Protector. It would be part of...
No, that's fine. We can pause there. Let's pause there. I want you to help me. So the Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct, they speak of 6 core values. I just want you to help me with 2 of those. Competence and diligence. What's your understanding of those 2 core values? Competence and diligence.
Competence and diligence, my understanding of that is the principles were mainly developed to regulate the ethical conduct of the judges. So if I take it in that context, my understanding of that is that you should be competent to carry out the functions of the position for which you are holding. Diligence, you should serve diligently in that position. You should be committed, you should be driven to the position that you are occupying.
Okay, thank you. Let's pause there. Just perhaps to take the issue of diligence and competence further. Your name is Adv Mkhwebane. Is that your name?
Honorable Member.
Okay. So, Pomchecho King. What is Pomchecho? So you have a certificate here that you have brought. That's written Pomchecho Revelation Mkhwebane. And you've made copies of that. It's sent to everybody else. You got it from the University of Johannesburg. Is that your other name?
No, Honorable Member, the name was spelled incorrectly. I've been following
It's incorrectly spelled.
Yes.
And yet you're reproducing that and it's not, and I'm trying to deal with diligence and competence. So this is what you do. This is not your name, but you spread it. So what should I take from that? Would somebody then come and argue and say, then you could easily transmit issues to court with these inaccuracies if this is what you can do with your name?
No, Honorable Member, it's not a reflection on my conduct, Honorable Member. Like I said, I've been trying to correct it with the relevant institution. I didn't get it. I'm still waiting to get the corrected copy. And it was an oversight. I should not have included it, or I should have included it with an explanatory note in the pack.
Yeah, because there's no explanatory note.
It was, yes.
Otherwise, I accept it.
But it's not a reflection on my conduct or my competency. Or
So do you pay attention to detail?
I do, Honorable.
And so when you do that, but I should accept this.
Can you repeat, Honorable Member?
You do pay attention to details, but you want me to accept this the Ponchecho thing.
I do pay detail to
Okay.
attention to detail.
Let's proceed. Let's go back to the investigations. And thank you. You've taken my question out, the Mail and Guardian. You've ran with that. But let's conclude on it. The Constitutional Court made an adverse finding on the former public protector, and you would have been in that space during that time of flawed investigations method. Do you know? Are you aware of that? Do you remember that?
Yes, but maybe, Honorable Member, if you can maybe be specific on the particular investigation.
It's the SAP and CX matter.
Yes.
So you're part of that team that would have. You were in that office.
I was in the office, but I was not involved in the investigation of that matter.
Okay. So do you agree with the Constitutional Court finding on that?
I agree with the Constitutional Court finding.
Okay. Let's quickly move. Chair, Honorable Mkhwebane would have come in front of me as a chair of the Section 194, and so I want to pose a question. So, do you perhaps now that you are here in front of me now here, do you think that there's a perception of bias or conflict of interest in that regard?
No, Honorable
Are you
Member.
comfortable that I would be part of this committee?
Yes, I am comfortable.
Thank you. Honorable Mkhwebane would have been your public protector, and there would have been a DC that involves you under her. Do you think it's she should recuse herself from this interview?
Look, it is something that I have reflected on, but I felt this is a parliamentary process. From the Section 194 inquiry, I testified of my interaction with the Honorable Mkhwebane. And one of the conclusions that was drawn by the committee was the manner in which Honorable Mkhwebane dealt with the outcome, the sanction from the chairperson, where rather than taking the sanction of the chairperson and implementing it as per policy, the Honorable Mkhwebane decided that she wanted to change that sanction from the warning and the suspension without pay as was ruled by the chairperson, and that was notwithstanding the fact that the disciplinary policy was clear. For me, I feel fairness, I feel that, but it's dependent on the committee. I think what gives me comfort is that she's not the only member of the committee. There are other members of the committee, but for me, it's something that I have reflected on. But I think for me, what's important is that I believe that Honorable Mkhwebane is a professional. She would be in a position to exercise that judgment. But it's something that concerns me, Honorable.
Let's pause there. Your parting shots. What's your understanding of the perception of bias?
Perception of bias simply means in exercising, in making the decision, you are not impartial. You tend to lean to one side rather than being impartial and being objective and dealing with the facts in front of you in an objective and a reasonable manner.
Just the last. So that finding of that. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Yes, no, we have exceeded the budget.
Hola, how are you?
Good afternoon, Honorable Mkhwebane.
Okay.
Okay, Honorable Member.
Isn't it strange when it's an honorable member?
You are Honorable Member.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I used to call you public protector.
Yes.
Now it's Honorable Member. I am in that space where I need to show the respect and call you Honorable Member.
Must declare apparently delay because I can't interview you because I disciplined you. So the Parliament allows me to declare that I worked with you as a senior investigator in the Public Protector Office up until I was your Public Protector. So indeed, as to Honorable Janchi, I'm part of the collective, and I would want what's for the public, which I would ask you to repeat always. What was the intention of us as an office if we deal with cases like this? But then I've got only 5 minutes. In your, you will investigate promptly. If appointed, my priority will be to ensure that these cases are investigated expeditiously and reports with appropriate remedial action are issued. So the question is, there were reports or investigations which you did, like the Peru investigation, for instance, which took 4 years to investigate, and originally it was a service delivery matter which was supposed to take 12 months. So how would you then change? And it's not only that we had to change from service delivery to, how would you change that as now the executive deputy public protector?
Maybe before I respond, if I can clarify the example that is cited by the honorable member, PEO was never classified as a service delivery. From the beginning that the complaint was lodged by the Freedom Front Plus, it was an issue that was related to procurement of smart meters by the city of Tshwane.
Sorry, your voice is too low now.
Okay, I'm saying to clarify the particular matter that is cited by the honorable member. It was never a service delivery. From the beginning,
let's say it's a conduct failure, it's supposed to be done in 24 months. So it took 48 months. How would you make sure that you speed up the investigations?
Part of the challenges in the Office of the Public Protector is resource constraints in organization. The last time I checked, there were 248 people that are in the structure, but they are not funded. To expedite that, it means I have to use the limited resources that I have. So to make sure that we expedite some of those investigations is to assign them to teams. But the challenge that we have is trying to balance the volumes versus taking a team to try and work on a matter.
Okay.
So,
then the issue of the complainants who come to the public protector as a last resort, how would you make sure that you empathize with them, especially those who are facing of lost hope in the system, and those who you said they might accuse you of being corrupted or paid a bribe when you were giving an example of conflict, like Abunyatela? How would you make sure as Deputy Public Protector now you behave differently to that? Whilst at that, I've got only 5 minutes. If you can also address the issue of the FSB investigation, where you failed to hold the officials reporting to you to do proper investigation, submitted an incomplete record to the court in terms of Rule 53, and after that, even the case, Yaga, the ESCOM matter, where the Rabi matter, where you failed to make sure that the court order is implemented on time. Now you are the public protector and executive. You are facing these challenges. How would you deal?
You must allow her to respond. I think the question
I
is
just
too
wanted
long.
to deal with, and then it's fine. Make sure that you deal with active members who are doing those things.
okay, thank me. Since my entire stay in the Office of a Public Protector, I am accessible to all the complainants, even those that would come to the office for research with Mr. Nyathela. I mean, there are several matters, complaints of Mr. Nyathela that I investigated. I personally, in those cases, I would personally update the complainants just to make sure that I try to address that perception that I might be biased or the matter is being unduly delayed. What it helps is that it explains the challenges that we are experiencing. So if I am to be appointed as the Deputy Public Protector, I will still continue to operate from that principle where I would be easily accessible to those complainants. If they come to the office, I would be accessible and be able to attend to them. The FSCA matter, it happens to be one of the matters that I was charged with, and without having to reopen the disciplinary hearing that happened, I just want to put certain things into proper perspective relating to that matter. Firstly, when I was appointed to carry the additional responsibility relating to the GGI, that investigation was 18 months old, and I was not involved in that investigation. When I came on board, the notice, Section 79 notice, from the correspondence that I picked on the file, it was as due back in July, and I joined and took over responsibility in November, so it was already long overdue.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any other questions from members? We're fine. Ms. Mkhwebane, thank you very much for availing yourself. Do you think that this interview was fair?
It was fair, Honorable Chair.
Do you think the questions were fair?
They were fair and relevant to the position.
Thank you very much. And also our apologies for starting late. And thank you very much for availing yourself. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
But I think there's one question that I did not ask you. Can you confirm your disclosure made in the questionnaire?
Yes, I confirm it.
And do you feel that you've got anything to add?
No, I have nothing to add.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I take the water?
Yes. It's our present. Yeah, members, the time is 2 o'clock. What time do you come back? Huh? So,